I emphasize, and no one should have any doubts about this, Russia is capable of responding to any existing and newly emerging threats, not with words, but by applying military technical measures.
Putin just dropped a bombshell. It's no longer rhetoric. At a September 22nd meeting of Russia's Security Council, he warned that the nuclear balance is falling apart, and Moscow is ready to use military technical means if threatened. But what does this escalation truly signal? And is the West listening? Let's find out.
I would like to begin today with an issue of exceptional and fundamental importance for the protection of our national interests, the sovereignty of Russia, and for ensuring international security in general, without any exaggeration. I mean the situation in the field of strategic stability. Unfortunately, it continues to degrade, caused by the combined effect of a number of negative factors, provoking the aggravation of existing risks and the emergence of new strategic risks.
Putin is setting the stage. This isn't just about weapons. It's about the erosion of trust. When a leader claims that strategic stability is degrading, he's saying, I can no longer rely on agreements. I can no longer pretend. Western outlets have noted the same. Reuters recently pointed out that with the New START treaty expiring in early 2026, the world's last major arms control framework is at risk of collapse. Without it, there are no rules left in the nuclear game.
As a result of the rather destructive steps previously taken by Western countries, the foundation of constructive relations and practical interaction between nuclear-armed states has been seriously undermined. The basis for dialogue in relevant bilateral and multilateral formats has been shaken. Step by step, the system of Soviet-American and Russian-American agreements on the control of nuclear missile and strategic defensive weapons has been almost completely dismantled. This system not only stabilized relations between the two largest nuclear powers, but also strengthened global security as a whole.
Here, Putin makes it clear. In his view, the West has dismantled decades of arms control architecture, from missile treaties to strategic defense pacts. The Washington Post highlighted the same concern. U.S. officials admit there is no clear plan for arms control after New START, leaving both sides in a dangerous gray zone. When the rules collapse, mistrust grows, and with mistrust comes the risk of miscalculation.
I emphasize, and no one should have any doubts about this, Russia is capable of responding to any existing and newly emerging threats, not with words, but by applying military technical measures. A clear example of this is our decision to abandon the unilateral moratorium on the deployment of ground-based intermediate and shorter-range missiles. This was a forced step, dictated by the need to adequately respond to programs for the deployment in Europe and the Asia-Pacific region of similar weapons of American and other Western production, which directly threaten Russia's security.
Putin's message is unmistakable. The gloves are off. Russia is not bluffing. The nuclear balance isn't a Cold War metaphor anymore. It's today's reality. With treaties collapsing and NATO expanding its missile programs, Moscow sees no choice but to counterbalance. For Washington and its allies, the choice is clear. Either revive dialogue and arms control, or face a world sliding back into an arms race. Russia, as Putin made clear, is ready for both scenarios.